Hello, everyone. Let's do this then, shall we? We're not going to mess around here. We're going to absolutely smash out these 16 players in the next 15 minutes, and then I can leave the building, and we can all get on with the rest of our days and the weekend. Let's start with Alisson Becker, shall we? Because he's probably one of the few, said it earlier on, said it a few minutes ago, who comes out of this game with any sort of pass mark, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, you can see the goal. I'm not sure there's a lot he could have done with it, to be honest with you. A couple of decent saves. The keeper is 1-0 as well. One good one off Anthony Elanga, when it like Liverpool still could potentially get something from this afternoon's of footy. Where are we thinking for Alisson Becker? I don't think anyone is coming in the boss category. I'm going to set my stall out early on that one. I'm not going anywhere near that today. But I think we're an upper sound. Yeah, Abdu says upper sound. I tend to agree. Nobody gets out the red from El Descarado. I like the name, but I'm not sure. I think Alisson is there, isn't he? But that is probably about as high as we're going to get. I'm interested to see what people think online, Gravenberch. But yeah, I'm going to stick Alisson there. Move it if you tell me to in a minute. Let's just do this. Trent Alexander-Arnold started the game at right back, finished the game in midfield. Make of that what you will. Not it today. His passing was not on it. I mean, no one's was really, I guess. But there was one late on in the game when we really were chasing the game as much as we chased the game. I still maintain we didn't chase it anywhere near to the level I would have liked. There was no real sort of endeavour. There's no sort of fight, it felt like, towards the back end. But he plays a pass and he gets it wildly wrong and it fizzles out and it's not good. He puts up his hand. Not good. Baloo says Ali sounds. The Damonars also says sounds. What we thinking? Abdu says lower sound and self-orientated performance. Wow. Okay. Nothing came off him offensively. He was okay defensively. I think you're right. He wasn't called upon massively defensively. The only thing that really came down his side was actually after he moved into midfield, and it was Conor Bradley. There was tasked for dealing with it. I don't think he was too really taxed from a defensive standpoint. But again, from an offensive point of view, he is one of those people that we rely upon to be a game changer and to unlock doors for us and to really be that creative force. Just wasn't his day, like so many of them. Let me see. Got a you're messing. Seen a couple of sounds. Got another you're messing. Oh, God, it's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good. Michael says you're messing. I mean, can we get like a higher and lower thing going on as well in the chat, just to guide me a bit more? For now, I'm going to put in there, cautiously, potentially optimistically as well. But yeah, please guide me in terms of height, if you can. As well, Ibrahima Konate then... peak you're messing, lower sound. Got a couple of lower sounds. Okay, I'm happy with that. And yeah, the midfield move didn't really work. I thought that experiment was done with, to be honest with you, but here we are. 2024, it's still happening. Ibrahima Konate. I don't know, man. Don't know. What are we thinking? I'm thinking sort of there. I don't know. Well, again, wasn't particularly tested defensively time and time again. What are you going to do from an attacking point of view with Ibrahima Konate? Not a lot, I guess. We had a couple of set pieces, but it was often Virgil getting on the end of them. We got a middle sound. Yeah, I felt like he dealt with everything that was thrown at him, really, when it was like Chris Wood up against him and that. He dealt with it. He won those battles, you know what I mean? So, there, bit higher, okay. Got a sound, lower sound. Just fouls, no ball playing ability. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Trent should be lower. If that could be a comment, and if a few more people say that, I'll move. Lower than Trent from Nathan. I'm not going to address the Salah thing right now. What made you think that about it? Good question. I don't know. I just felt like under Slot we'd moved in a different direction with it. It clearly has ridiculous innate ability on the ball, Trent. Ridiculous. So much so that it lends itself naturally to being a midfielder. But I feel like we get so much out of him when he has more time and space on the ball at right back. Not necessarily today, by the way, but in general. He just feels like, and he orchestrates things so brilliantly from that position. I don't mind him wandering into there as a midfielder and being the extra body and adding that overload. Certainly in games like today, actually, where Nottingham Forest are man for man, they are very busy in that midfield, that congested midfield area. It feels like Trent can be of use then. But actually moving him into the midfield just negates so much of what he does well and actually puts more pressure on him in terms of having that speed of thought and the awareness and the people that are swarming on him and the time he has to dictate things as well a little bit. And I know I've said a lot of words there, but I just felt like under Arne Slot we were going to see a lot less of that. But 4 games in, we've already gone back to the break glass solution that we've seen against Fulham last season when he moved into midfield. Changed the game on that particular day, by the way, from there. But it doesn't feel very Slot-esque just to go just throw Trent into midfield, let's see what happens. Just suggests we're running out of ideas a little bit for me. But anyway, that's for another day. Okay, that's fine. Let's do Virgil. Where's Virgil? Here he is. Here he is, got him. I mentioned it when we got his head on the end of a few set pieces, defensively and from an attacking point of view, so good. Felt like a bit of a magnet in terms of the aerial stuff today. Captain, C-Wise, sound. What are we saying, sound? We've got a sound. We've got a couple of sounds. Marcus Ward says sound. Leonardus says sound as well. Is that your actual surname? If so, I'll rate that. Scally says VD was fine. He was there, but leadership is very much lacking. A couple of people mentioned the leadership thing a moment ago. High sound, high sound. Lost a number of headers. Okay. Chris Wood is a proper handful. Okay, let's go high sound. We're actually doing okay here. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Things may change as we move forward. Let's go Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson. Everyone should go, you're messing. Yeah, like I said, we're doing okay. Missed a crucial chance, Virgil did. I mean, he had a couple of half moments in the air, like I say. I'm not sure he missed a big chance, personally. Baloo with a low sound. I assume we're talking about Robbo. Ineffective. Yeah, do you know what? Ineffective. Obviously, Simicast comes on. Well, no, I'm sure we won't have all the players in sound. And listen, I'm with you. I'll be honest, I'm with you. But on an individual basis right now, I mean, you could maybe do that a little bit with them. But I'm not sure all of them stunk the gaff out. You know what I mean? Certainly not him. Anyway, I'm not having all the blame or like him come out an absolute stinker. We were shit and we got beat 1-0 by Nottingham Forest. They're the facts of it, but he wasn't terrible, so he's not going in terrible. Andy Robertson, however. Borderline, you're messing. I love Robbo. I'm not sure how much left he has in the tank for us. Wasn't his day, I can't lie. I'm going to go there. Yeah, wait till you get to Mo. You might be right, mate. I thought defensively, I mean, again, Nottingham Forest didn't really pose a huge threat. Later on in the game, when Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, as evidenced by the goal, comes on, they posed more of a threat, clearly. And, you know, Alisson Becker has to make a couple of good saves, like I mentioned, and defensively were tested a little bit, but these two in particular, they weren't exactly, you know, running back towards the goal every 5 minutes, so I can't really put them much lower. Anyway, let's speak potentially more positively. Don't know where we're going with this. Ryan Gravenberch, non-existent. Below your messing. I think people are going to disagree with you, my mate. Put your tin hat on for the comments here. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Leeds and Liverpool fan. I mean, you do you, mate, but that's a very strange combination, that. Trent was trying hard. Too many Hollywood passes when a simple ball will do. Thanks very much. Appreciate the clean-shaven comment. Not that has much to do with this anyway. But, you know. Best player, boss, defo sound, best of a bad bunch, nothing outstanding. Yeah, there's a moment in the first half where he brings the ball down and turns his man absolutely sublimely. At that point, we're playing well-ish, and it's still 0-0, so all felt okay with the world. Thereafter, it never really, you know, continued that trend. But I thought it was okay, again, really, and I agree with the comment a moment ago, best of a bad bunch, because I think that's about spot on, to be honest with you. And similar here, Nathan Tarr says, Gravy was the best of a bad bunch today, was really good, only caught the second half from what he diamond in a bunch of coal. Yeah, I quite like that. Low boss. And as much as I'm being relatively positive so far with these guys, I'm not willing to put anyone in boss based on that performance either. So I'm not going too gung-ho. I think that maybe mostly sounds verging on boss at moments. Like his hairline, his forehead was boss, put it like that. Yeah, I thought he won most of his duels. I haven't seen the numbers behind it as well, but it felt like he was coming out on top of most things and emerging with the ball. Not everything went through him today. He's been a heartbeat at Liverpool for the most part of the season so far. It wasn't quite the same today, obviously, but good and only good. But again, we were shit and he was okay. Let's do Alexis Mac Allister. Got absolutely kicked to bits in the first 20 minutes. I don't know, man. I don't know. Wasn't at the races. Was somebody mentioned ineffective for Robbo a minute ago? I think he just didn't show, did he? Really? You know what I mean? Like, Yates running Mac are dead. Yeah, I agree. And he's such a wonderful footballer. He stopped him playing. Maybe it was a little bit of that, and the tiredness thing. He's definitely one who falls into that category, because we referenced the international break a lot over the course of the last half an hour or so. But him and that seemingly ongoing injury problem he's had that kept him out of a couple of training sessions, meant he didn't start the last Argentina game either. What a catch that was, by the way. Yeah, that wasn't good, was it, man? Low sound, bordering on your messing. And again, I caveat this by saying he's fucking brilliant at footy and I love him to pieces. But you want him to be good and you want him to step up to be counted, stand up to be counted and step up in these sort of games and take him by the scruff of the neck and say, no, I'm not losing, not to you guys, I'm sorry. Face your battle with fucking Yates head on and come at the better of it, score the winner and laugh in his face as you run off. None of it. And I love him. Was a boss catch. Thanks, really was. Somebody says has to be in your messing, so I'll drop him down ever so slightly. You're messing, lower sounds. Boss catch, cheers, mate. Yeah, nice one. Messing. Dominik had a poor game. Let's do Dominik Szoboszlai then. Yeah, this is the business end of this conversation really now, because we're getting to the lads that you want to be able to win you this game of footy, and you get into the lads who've actually had the opportunity in which to do so. It felt like time and time again we were getting the ball into the final third, and it was up to your creative players to be the guys, to come up in that moment, to spark us, nothing. And he, unfortunately, and again, really like him as a footballer, was front and centre of the bad brigade today. It just was. Like, him and Mo Salah, they felt like they developed this sort of telepathic understanding recently. Today, they were on completely different fucking channels. Like, it was crazy how separate and how disparate they were. Like, it was just, grim watching. And again, I said it before, runs his absolute socks off. He was the only one I can really, in the forefront of my mind, think right at the end who was willing and trying, but nothing he did came off today. Nothing. I was desperate for him just to try his luck from range, because we know he can do that. Never happened. Every time him and Mo Salah went for a 1-2, went for a ball inside, he'd overrun it, or Salah would underhit it. Anyway, Sobbo's worst game. I shouldn't be able to see him. He should go that low, says Abdu. Sobbo's top of head, shoulders should be the only thing showing. Okay. Let Dominik go hungry, so wasteful with his food. Okay. Lower, you're messing for Sobbo. You're messing. There was no space through the middle. I think you're absolutely spot on that. Forrest did a good job of making that the case, and so many bodies between sort of the goal and the middle of the area, if you like, which is an area he likes to operate in. He was forced out wide a little bit, but again, come back to it, you find a way. You make it work, and we just didn't because of the quality and the understanding that was just non-existent. Okay, it's time. You guys don't want to see him. I've got space here, which is quite handy. Can you see him? I can't see the camera, so let me know if you can see his head or not. I'm guessing so. He won't even stay still. Let me know how much of Szoboszlai's hair you can see, and then I'll decide whether that's right. Everton are beating Villa. My day just gets better. My day just gets better and better. Oh, God. He's not low enough. Okay, sorry. Can you see? That shit you can see low. Okay, there we go. If much lower, and he literally won't be on the board anymore in terms of that. That to me is the end of the board. Okay. Crap. Okay. Forrest have a template every time we used to be. Yeah, do you know what? That crossed my mind after about 15 minutes. Maybe a bit longer than that. But I was thinking, I hope this isn't the blueprint that other teams follow. And I thought Ipswich had a little bit of that going on for 15-20, but then blew up, like the tanks were empty. So that wasn't really it. But I did worry that maybe if Forest were to do something like they did today, is that what teams use? But you've got to execute it well, which Forest did, and you need Liverpool to have an off day. Those two things will happen all the time. But the point is a valid one, and I'm sure teams will definitely analyse that 100 minutes of footy and say, well, that's how you nullify slots to Liverpool anyway. But Liverpool need to find a way of not letting that happen, and having a plan B and having alternatives and ultimately being better with footy. Dom Szoboszlai's there. Mo Salah. That should be fun. Mo Salah. Sob on the floor, Dan. Unfortunately, I make you half right, but I'm not going to be that guy. One beautiful pass. Yeah, I think they all did. Like Mac Allister had that lovely little dink ball to Jota, which was sublime, but it doesn't carry much weight, does it, in the grander scheme of things? And Szoboszlai, likewise, with the Salah, that ball over the top. They have the quality, but when you can pick out one pass from two brilliant footballers over the course of 100 minutes a game, it's not enough. Even Sobbo knows he plays badly. It's a good point. Salah should be in the basement, lol. Salah played like a double agent, absolute horror show. Moe, a messing lad. Salah may need to be lower than Sobbo, Dan. Shit, my back's going to go. And you know what? You guys were in my mind. That crossed my mind as well during the game. It was bad. And he'd been brilliant, hasn't he? Let's be honest. We're not going to, beat him up too much, but it wasn't good. He's been incredible at the start of the season. Incredible. But that was post-AFCON bad Mo Salah. It was everything he did. Just his decision, his finishing, his passing. Like I say, that lack of cohesion with Dominik Szoboszlai, it's just post-Egypt. And the AFCON reference was a literal AFCON one. It wasn't just an international break one, but there is something to be said for that. Like post-international football, Mo Salah, and I adore the man. I love him to pieces. Again, I said it before, he's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to this football club. But he just not at it, not at the races at all, and seemingly, again, straight after an international break. And I know he adores playing for his country, and I'd never be the one of the people to tub thump and say, you've got to retire from international duty because it's not fair. But there's no two ways about it. Like, Liverpool do not get the best version of Mo Salah very often post-international footy. And that's all I'll say on the matter. Let's go there. Oh, that might be high. Let's go there for Mo. Him and Szoboszlai might be finding it out down the bottom somewhere there. That's the closest and sort of the most cohesive they've been all day, by the way. That actually is them on the same wavelength, which is so in contrast to what we've just watched. So well done, those two. I lost possession 21 times. I did say earlier on the show a minute ago how somebody says lower, way too high. Oh, shit. I did say I checked his pass completion record on like the 70, 80 minute mark. Not good reading. Salah was worse. The Earth's core. Christ, I've been kind. Are we happy? Again, they've got to be on the screen, so you know. Mo should be the lowest. Okay. All right. Whoa. Luis Diaz hit the post and made that happen very much by himself, chasing a lost cause. Very Luis Diaz-esque, actually. Not the hitting the post bit, a little bit, but that never say die attitude again, that he's a scrapper, he's a fighter, he's a street footballer at heart, isn't he? I loved that about him. And coupled with that, so far this season, he's brought goals, he's brought moments, he's had an impact. Today, I don't think it was his worst game, by any stretch of imagination. Had he have scored that, we'd have been absolutely waxing lyrical about how brilliant it was, and that, again, that desire, that willingness to fight for every single inch. But yeah, there is no downstairs. It is literally the Earth's core below me. I am on the ground floor, so yeah, Diaz was fine today, mid-sound. Diaz below the crap on the floor. That's harsh. I think he was okay. Not his usual standard. It wasn't the usual. It wasn't the worst at the front four. No, I agree. Most dangerous players, but no danger. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a good analogy right now. But like, what's the most dangerous of a very undangerous thing? Like, I don't know, like the sharpest feather in a pillowcase is a terrible analogy. But yeah, sort of mid-sound, did we say, sorry, right behind me. Let's move. I won't move them height-wise, I'll just shimmy them along a little bit if I can. So you can kind of see him. There we go. High sound, unlucky high sound, that's quite positive. Okay, push him slightly. We've got, I keep thinking I haven't done Salah and Szoboszlai, they're so low on the board. I keep going to grab on them and then realising that I have. Diogo Jota. Jota had one of those games today that I've often worried about him having, whereby if he's not scoring goals, and this hasn't been true so far this season, I'll caveat it straight away, but if he's not scoring goals, I don't really know what he's doing. It's felt like for a long time with Diogo Jota, which sounds brutally harsh, but only by comparison to Bobby Firmino, not by comparison to Cody Gakpo or Darwin Núñez when they play the 9. But I think sometimes his link-up play leaves a lot to be desired, and that was obviously the case there as well. But this season so far, he's been outstanding. The understanding and the fluidity that's been existing in that front three has been a joy to watch, and he's been at the absolute centre, in the heart of that. He's made that happen with Salah and Diaz alongside him. So I'm not going to criticise him wholeheartedly and say he's shit, because it's just not true. But he did have one of those games whereby you think, I'm not sure what you bring into the party if you're not scoring goals. And he had a chance from that Mac Allister pass, actually. He just gets a toe on, and maybe if the contact's better. But it felt like when the game is scrappy, and Liverpool do need someone just to, one, to come off someone's arse, or someone just to be in the right place at the right time, it's very often him. And today it wasn't, so a little bit annoying. Jota should be super sub again, has won the least of service compared to Diaz and Salah. Was Jota playing today, needing more help from the others? Jota was even playing. God, we are not enjoying Diogo Jota, are we? Sound, you're messing, not his fault, no service. No, and there was no service at any point during the game. I can't really think, apart from the two I've mentioned, which is contradicting in what I've just said, of like a moment whereby, and there's one moment actually which nearly happened, it was the Gravenberch pass into him, and you think, okay, had that pass have been right, who knows what Jota does thereafter? So the point about no service is accurate, because at no point did we feed him. But again, I come back to what I said, like, could he be doing more? Could he be more influential in the round? It possibly, but he doesn't feel like that type of player to me. Jota ghosted between your messing and sound. Would I start Jota against Milan? No, I'd start Darwin Núñez. Mid-sound. Okay, gonna go there. And that's it for the starting 11. Let's quickly do subs. Oh, I just fucking man the match started there. Shit, I didn't realise that. Sorry, Victor. I apologise. I'm just trying to do a show. Why are we making excuses for Jota? I'm not. He wasn't very good, was he? Subs. God. Cody Gakpo. Let's rattle through these, shall we? Cody Gakpo. Marked out by a Forrest defence. Yeah, Forrest did a number on us, didn't they? Let's be honest about it. And Jota just had no room to manoeuvre whatsoever in there. Invisible. I assume we're talking about Gakpo now. Again, nothing changed when he came on. I can't put too fine a point in it. Like, just the subs just didn't help the matter whatsoever. Something like that. Yeah, I could probably do that with all of them, to be honest with you. Thanks, Dan. Another Dan. Dan's sticking up for Dan, so I'd like to see. Baldwin says, Gakpo invisible, you're messing. Curtis Jones, this should be fun. Curtis Jones, you're messing. That's from Captain Caveman. Subs didn't do anything to be on the board. We have to do this. This is the whole premise of the show. Oh, God. Similar. I'm going to drop them both down a little bit, because you do turn to the bench in times of crisis. That's kind of what it's there for. A little bit to rest and rotate, and a little bit to get some minutes out of some legs, and vice versa. 2-0 Everton, shoot me in the head. But today, you need them to come on and actually be the difference, be that needle mover in the match. And it was impossible for all of them. Darwin was at least noticeable. Don't know if it was a good thing. Where is Darwin? There he is. I come back to the point I made earlier. He should be good enough whereby the circumstances don't matter to how he plays as a footballer. But when you come on, there seems a ghost in the system. Yeah, I think the system point is a good one and accurate, because I don't think it particularly suits him, doesn't suit his style, his strengths, whatever. But it suits him even less when we're 1-0 down and Forrest have got something to cling on to and they're deeper than ever before. And all they're doing is kicking it miles whenever they get the opportunity and the time wasted and all that sort of shit. It's not for him. And again, I feel like I'm making excuses for him, so fucking forgive me. We were terrible. I can't say that enough. Like, it was terrible. But yeah, anyway, I'll pop him there because whatever. All subs are messing, yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at as well. Hence the fact that I'll just go in there because 1-0 down, chasing the game, bring your subs on, no change, not good enough. Conor Bradley, one of the better ones, might be slightly higher than some of the others. I don't know, defensively, comes down his side, could he do better for the goal? Probably. But we brought him on to be an attacking influence. We did a little bit of that along the way. Technical abilities are worry for on the start, yeah, and I think you're referring to Darwin Núñez there. And to make you right, obviously, he isn't a technician, he's explosive, he's quick, he runs in behind, he's off the shoulder. How much of that are we going to see in Arne Slot's play, in Arne Slot's build-up? I'm not sure. I actually thought a lot of the time over the summer we'd see more of it because it did feel quite akin to what he did at Feyenoord with Santiago Jimenez. I thought Núñez might actually be a benefactor of it. Hasn't come to pass yet at all. Conor Bradley, much of a muchness in terms of these subs. Again, probably should do better for the goal, to be honest. I'll pop him there. Yeah, and one more to do. Kostas Tsimikas. I'm sorry. Yeah, we've fucking seen what's stuck by that point, I think, weren't we? Okay, sound. I think that's everything. It was properly grim. And thanks for sticking with me throughout the course of the last 2 bits of show. Thanks for sticking with us throughout the entire match day, actually, I should say. Hopefully we won't have too many more like this, whereby Liverpool are just pretty much exclusively messing. Like, so poor. I can't make the point often enough. I'm trying. We were terrible. Pretty much to a man. But I'll tell you who wasn't terrible, you guys. Thanks again for sticking with us. Thanks for all the comments all day long. It's massively appreciated. Just going to make sure I haven't... Oh, the chat is disconnected. That's why nobody's commenting. That makes sense now. I thought you'd all just left me in the lurch. Thanks again for getting involved from start to finish. We will see you all next time, which will be Liverpool against AC Milan from the San Siro. Let's hope, pray, keep fingers crossed, etc., for a massively improved performance. I'll see you then. Goodbye.